Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin today's video, I want to give a moment of silence for Namor. Yes, introduced to Marvel Strike Force as one of the most meta war offense characters in the game, important part of that Fantastic Four team, and over a year of pulling that horn out of who knows where to help his team into battle, unceremoniously kicked off of the team, relocated to Sandusky, Ohio, where he's currently undergoing therapy for depression, and taking his spot on the Four Guys is this gal, She-Hulk. And while some of you may be very excited that she is coming to the game, I don't want you to forget Namor in these trying times. So in remembrance of our beloved sea friend, guys, make sure you are using the hashtag #SaveNamor. But if you guys are ready to find your questions from the mailbag, guys, find that like button and you know what to do. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome to the ValleyFlyin channel. I am back. I hope you're doing well and had a great weekend. Today, we are answering your questions from the mailbag. Where in the world is Symbiote Spider-Man? More questions about Dark Dimension 3 and a lot more, guys. But before we get to your questions, let's pay some bills and give a shout out to the sponsor of this video. Want to be a part of the largest mobile gaming community? Well, come check out
Raid Shadow Legends.
One of the reasons this game is so easy to pick up is because of its large online community. There's over 100,000 members on Discord alone. So if you're a new player that has a question, there's probably someone there that can answer it for you. And guys, one of the best places for new players to get some gear for their characters is right here in the main campaign mode. You got 12 different chapters, and each chapter dropped a different type of gear set. My favorite is still right here, guys, in Baltimore Straits for that lifesteal gear. Helps my champions survive a little longer. And what is new in September? Well, over 20 champions are getting rebalanced, and the Forge. Yeah, this thing is gonna help you save some time crafting some top-end artifacts. So if this sounds like a game for you guys, make sure you go to the description and click on that link to download the game. And if you are a brand new player, even better, you will get in your account 100,000 free silver and the epic champion, Lightswarm. This guy kicks some booty in the arena. Now these rewards, they are gonna be available in your inbox right here, guys. But do not wait because they're only available for the next 30 days. So what are you waiting for? Yes, big shout out to Raid for sponsoring this video, guys. And if you want to play that game, make sure you are using the link in the description. But without further ado, guys, it is time for your questions of the week from the mailbag. Boom. ValleyFlyin, free-to-play player, trying to widen my roster. What do you recommend building up teams that I don't have super high red stars on? Trying to build up more meaningful war attacks, but some of my war attack characters don't have red stars and aren't worth investing credits into. Mr. Fantastic, for example. So hopefully most of your characters are at least 3 red stars, and I think that's a bare minimum. Obviously, you want them 4 or 5 to make them a decent character, but 3, I think, makes them a bare minimum. So hopefully you have at least your characters at that level. Now, I would recommend, as far as team building, work on one team at a time, work on one meta team. And if a character does not have as many red stars, well, you're gonna have to put a little more gold into getting their levels up. You're gonna have to put in more gear into that character. So you're gonna have to build them up in other ways if you don't have the red stars on them. But basic suggestions, work on one team at a time. And yes, I do listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, brother. Next questions, let's get it. All right. I know that Symbiote Spider-Man and Carnage are the best for the city nodes of Dark Dimension 3, but who else would be good? Heard that Venom, Ghost Rider, Doc Ock are good picks, but want your opinion. Venom is very, very good. He would be my first choice after those two. Next choice would probably Ghost Rider. After that would probably be Punisher. Doc Ock probably will be good. I know, because he's not out in the game yet. Nobody's taken him into Dark Dimension 3, getting some first-hand knowledge of him, but I guess he would be good. But my first pick before any of those would be that Venom pick that you mentioned first, brother. Hello from Delaware. There's some super content you've been putting out. Notice OMG has been copying a lot of the same content you've been putting out recently. Is insert character's name worth it? Weekly news update. Are you going to start doing offer review? No. I mean, honestly, there's only so much content we could cover in this game. So there's going to be some overlap, but I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, not planning to start doing offer review, but I don't know. If times get too lean, I might have to start doing that. 30 days into game, wonder if you made a video on StarTech. Would like to get some hints from you, brother. I think I did a video on StarTech way back in the day. May have just answered a question on the mailbag, but basically for StarTech, I focus on damage first for every single category. Get it as much as you can, then get the health as much as you can, and then selectively work on your armor, focus, and resistance based on which class of character you're using. But damage, get that built up max across the board. Health, get that maxed up across the board, and then start working on things individually. That is my best advice for StarTech, brother. It's based on what you're using, but damage, health should be first. Love the kill order video you did a week ago. Any chance you could get a character placement order? Thanks for the great content. So did that as a question in the mailbag. So I'll answer that as a question in the mailbag. If it's very popular, may like get the best placement. But what I'll do in this video is show you what placement I'm using right now in the game, guys. Boom. These are my saved squads. Messing with my Black Order placement right now. Been experimenting with a few different things in Arena. Now that is mainly for a Black Order versus Black Order matchup. I honestly don't think the placement matters too much when you're going against a non-Black Order team. As long as you time the timing of the flip for Thanos. Same thing with a Black Order team, but been experimenting with a few different placements, mainly on war defense, or not war defense, alliance, arena defense. My goodness. Call is in the middle currently with Thanos right next to him, and placing these guys separately because when you're going Black Order versus Black Order, you want to try to screw up the timing of that flip from Thanos. But yeah, I'm still working on the best placement for Black Order. Symbiotes, I have these guys here. I am not sure why I have Carnage right next to Drax. Maybe that was just the order to place them in. Drax is on here. I have him off to one side, obviously, because I don't want the rest of my symbiotes to take damage. Probably should have Psylocke right here instead, just because she has those evades sometimes. But yeah, I'm not sure if the order matters too much. If you're using just these three symbiotes, probably want to place three separate characters between them in case one of those characters die. You're not getting adjacent attacks from these guys. I'm working with the different placements of the sinners of these marauders as well. Strife obviously on the end. In Alliance War D, I got Blob right here for some of these for some of the block chance to go up with next to Strife. Emma is right here for Blitz. I'm still not sure about the best placement for this, but I got Sinister all the way on this side. Don't want him to die. Again, this is one that I started a while ago. I'm not sure why I still have it placed like this. Colossus on this side. I think I had Phoenix on this side initially, but when I had Cyclops, he was so low. I think he was like in the 30 years range, in the 30k power range, and so I was just trying to protect him. And then now he's up to the 54k. I still have him on the end, but I don't know if you need him on the end. I used to have Psylocke here because she had those evades that we previously mentioned. Now Storm is here, and I think I just switched up their spots when they came onto the team. I never moved them back, but Colossus should go on one end and make sure that Phoenix is protected for this X-Men team. Not sure if the placement for this team matters too much because of Yo-Yo. She's kind of a weird tank that applies offense down to the rest of the team. So I just place these guys randomly. As Guardians, Sif is on the end. I think Heimdall should be right here. I think I had Thor here because he had a little higher power than Heimdall, but then I think I got some red stars on Heimdall, so Heimdall shot up above Thor. So Heimdall probably should be next to Sif right there. Hela on one end, and I have Loki in the middle. As far as aim, security is on one side. Scientist Supreme is on the other. I like Assaulter, giving some extra speed to Scientist Supreme, giving some extra speed to Monstrosity. This is how I have them plays. BK or Tech Nerva. This is not even BKT anymore. Groot goes on one side. Star-Lord is there feeding that energy to Rocket. So I want this more offense-based. If you want it a little more defense-based, you can place Minerva right next to Star-Lord, or you can make it a little even, having him placed between these two. But he is distributing energy, so the placement of Star-Lord matters on this team. This one, I got Miss Marvel right here all the way in the end because she's a tank. Captain Marvel, because very, very strong character, so she could take a few of the hits if I'm getting a lot of splash damage or a lot of chain damage. And just the rest of these guys are just here. I'm not sure if this is the best placement. I mean, if these are guys who are all even powered, maybe placing Miles right next to Miss Marvel because he does go into stealth sometimes. This is how I have them. I'm not sure why I placed them in this order, but Thing is on one side. Hopefully he will be the tank and he'll be the character that doesn't go into stealth, and he'll get a lot of these deflects or counterattacks because you're hitting rocks. You don't want to hit rocks with your bare hands. So that is how I have them. He is a squishy, so I placed him there next to Namor and Invisible Woman. And I kind of want to keep Mr. Fantastic alive because he has all those assists, but because they don't have a traditional tank, I'm not sure if the order matters too much on the Fantastic Four. With this one, I placed Coulson next to Security because if Coulson dies, Medic can bring him back to life, so I don't mind if he dies. This is how I have them placed for Blitz. I think I have them placed similarly for War as well. Fury on the other end because I don't want him to die. I also don't want Medic to die, so have them placed as far away from Security as possible. Juggernaut next to Blob when I'm using them for Blitz. Sabretooth goes right here just because that is where I have Blob and it's easy to replace these guys. But I think this is the best placement for the Brotherhood 2.0 if you're not mixing in any Marauders. I have Toad right here. Magneto could go here also, but I have Pyro all the way away from Juggernaut because I want him to survive. Very, very squishy character. I got M'Baku on one end for this team. I'm not sure what team this is. It's a very good characters on this team, but with this team right here, I don't know if anybody uses this. It's a very outdated team. Got M'Baku here. Killmonger, he does some counter-attacking, so I have him here next to them. Shuri, very strong. Probably not the best place to place her, but on this current team at 94k power, almost double what everybody else is. I have her in the middle. Black Panther, I want him to survive, so he's on the end, and Okoye just is there. I like Ghost Rider away from Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange, I think, should be on the end just so I think he has a little less likely to be attacked, but I like, this is the placement right here. She is very strong as far as her damage, so a lot of times she will get taunted, but ever since I brought Ghost Rider up, this team works so much better. So Ghost Rider on one end, Strange on the other. I don't think the order matters too much. Again, you're not dealing with a traditional tank on this team. I want to protect Rescue, and that is pretty much it. So make sure Rescue is on one end. I don't think the order matters too much on this team. This is a strange team using Mantis right now on Blitz, and Captain Marvel is on this team in War. And the way I have this, I have Mantis between Hulk and Captain America, just because she helps with her adjacent target, with your adjacent allies. Have Black Widow and Hawkeye as far away from this side as possible, and Hulk just in the middle, so he's next to Mantis. One of the old strategies used to use was Mantis next to Hulk in War. Don't need to because we get a lot of more teams now, but this is a very old team before these came around. Defenders, I placed Luke Cage on one side, Daredevil because he has a chance to dodge. Iron Fist is all the way at the center there, so that's where I place them. I don't think Punisher and Jessica Jones matters too much as far as their placement. This is a weird team. Ultron goes on a lot of different teams on War based on who we're fighting, but this is where I use them on Blitz, and I'm wanting Trooper next to Ultron just to get those counterattacks. Same thing with being next to Hand Sentry. If he places everybody to stealth, I don't think the placement of Nobu and Night Nurse matters too much. I have these guys placed like this. Deadpool in the middle. Hopefully that means he's getting attacked. It hasn't really worked out that way. It seems Domino gets attacked a lot more than anybody else, but this is how I have these guys. Not sure if that is the best order. I have Korath next to Riot Guard right here on War defense. I have Killmonger next to Riot Guard right here. Shuri goes into center, and these guys are placed right there. This is where I have the Hydra 2.0. Still not sure if I know Swarm is not the best character here, but still have not replaced them on this team yet. But this is where I'm using. Maybe this is where Namor gets relegated to on this Hydra 2.0 team. Make them super, super strong. This is a trash team. And then I want Red Skull next to the Armored Guard on War defense because he's not going to take damage until everybody's done. And on every other game mode, I want Red Skull as far away from Armored Guard as possible, and this is Sinister 6. This is changing tonight, so I don't think this matters too much. But that is how I have my main save squads placed. And then here's a couple other ones that I use sometimes in Ultimate 7 as well, and that's the placement of those guys. ValleyFlyin, does your alliance use the MSF Warbot? If so, has it helped with war organizations? They use it. I don't use it as much. Once in a while I'll look, but kind of know what teams can beat what teams. Once in a while you can run into bad RNG, but yeah, I know they use it. I'll look at their recommendations as well. I look like a skinny Dwayne The Rock Johnson, according to your son, man. I guess I better eat more protein, eat more steaks if I'm looking like a skinny Rock Johnson. I'm not the first to suggest this, but please keep pushing Scopely for this. DD is a waste once you've completed it. They keep suggesting resetting each month for additional rewards. This has been suggested for a while, but I know where you're going with this, but luckily in the datamize, it shows that future completions will get you something as far as achievement. Maybe it's just another border on your portrait. Hopefully it's for some rewards though, but yeah, we'll see what happens. It might be a border, but I like this idea. I've been wanting this idea for a while. Hopefully Scopely one day realizes that all the development work that they put into DD 1, 2, 3 is going to waste if nobody's playing it after they're done with it. So hopefully they make more content, making people want to stay in the game more, and hopefully they give rewards for it as well. Valley from Italy, what is up, brother? On Node 7 for DD3, first time I restart the node because the second Iron Fist drop. I'm using Phoenix and Ultron. I'm building Shuri. 2 pieces for gear 14. Is it worth it to spend a basic T4 on Shuri, or maybe I build Sinister, Emma, or Colossus? Thank you for your video. So the more characters you have, the easier this node is going to be. I went into it with Phoenix and Colossus. I think I went into this node. I might have had Phoenix, Colossus, Yo-Yo, who ultimately became no use because Colossus is a protector, and I think I built up Colossus afterwards, but I think I also had Ultron and Sinister. And eventually I got through this, but just having those extra bodies on the field made it less painful. So instead of putting that basic in, or that T4 into Shuri's basic, build up other characters that you know you're going to use in other game modes. If you know you're going to use Sinister, or Emma, or Colossus, build them up in whatever order you're going to use them in. I think as far as the value in DD3, it goes Colossus, Emma, then Sinister. But whatever order you're using them in outside of this game, who's ever getting the most use, build up that character first. And yeah, the more bodies you could get in there, the better, brother. Greetings, Valley. I'm stuck on Node 7, DD3. Another one. I have Phoenix, Colossus, and Sinister. Should I ask support to reboot the node or bring up another character? If it's a ladder, who would you end up building up? So Ultron is a good one to look for this node. The reason is he has a lot of value outside of that. You also could build up the other mutants like Emma. You also got Shuri in there that can help with this node, but my choice, and I know he's very expensive as far as orange gear, but I think he's so valuable in all these other game modes. I think it is going to be worth it. So my choice would be Ultron, like I said with the previous question, the more bodies you could have on this node, the better. He might not help on this node. Once in a while he will, if he gets his cooldown set properly and he gets some of these bots. Most of the time he'll be kind of trash, but just having that extra body on this node will help, and then he will help you in the other game modes. So Ultron would be my first pick. Emma would be another pick. Shuri would be another pick. Those are all great picks. Valley from Canada, what is up, brother? Wondering, I'm about to unlock Phoenix. Should I bring her into DD2? I got Minerva, Starlord, Colossus, and Thor at gear 13. As we speak, we're getting Hela. I think Hela will give you more value in DD2. Whereas if you're taking more than a day to complete nodes, once a day, Phoenix is going to give you a lot of value on one node with that big nuke that she has. But DD2, because you're going through these nodes quicker than you are DD3. Phoenix, I would say, does not have as much value because you're going to need to reset her. You're going to need to spend cores to use her on multiple nodes because she's dying every single node. So Hela first. Phoenix will help you in other game modes, but not specifically too much in DD2, except for once a day. Greetings from Canada, Kansas City. Quick question. I was thinking about getting BlueStacks on my laptop. Wanted to know, is it easy to switch back and forth from my phone to my laptop? Yes. So you can't play them both at the same time. You can only be logged into your account on one device at a time. But as soon as you link it to Facebook, you're golden, brother. It is linked on your Android, is linked on your phone, and good. If you're playing on both Android devices, even better. It should be even easier, but make sure you back up your game before you do anything. Back it up to Facebook or something. Link your account so that there isn't a problem. ValleyFlyin just got my Black Order to 170k power. Don't have a lot of gold stars on him. What are the best T4s for the Black Order? So this is a tougher question because there's a lot of T4s that I put into my Black Order. But let's go back into the game. Let's go check them out. And Thanos, very, very important character. Now, if we're talking about a Black Order team, we got to go to the empowered version of Thanos. And he has a lot of good skills, brother. This is a very, very good one. 60% extra damage, always gaining counter. I'm using this basic more than any of his other skills. This is also a big one. You're flipping all positive effects and negative effects on all enemies. Before that, I believe it is 3, or is it 2? Positive effect, oh, it's 3 before this. And then you're getting taunting for 2 turns. Very, very important on a full Black Order team. This one is also good. Adds a little extra damage. You're getting an extra attack. You're repeating it 2 times instead of 1 to 2 additional times, and you're getting more drain. So this is good. This one you might be able to skip. I don't think this one is as important as some of these other ones. And then more speed, more armor, very good. So you probably don't want to skip on that basic or on that passive either. Let's move to Ebony Maw. I think both of these skills are very, very good for him. If you might want to skip the basic if you're not using this team as much, especially at 170k, but his special, very, very good, especially using him on a non-Black Order team. And on a full Black Order team, this is a very good one as well, that ultimate. Let's move on to our next Black Order characters. Where are they? Let's go for Cull Obsidian. His ultimate is very good. More damage to the primary target, 15% damage per death proof on self, and he's a character that gets a lot of death proofs. I think the best one right here for him is this passive right here. 50% extra damage, gaining max health, Black Order, and Thanos gains max health. This is a very, very big one. His passive is probably the best of the bunch for when we're looking at Cull Obsidian. Proxima Midnight, I liked a lot of hers. Now, we did not know Ebony Maw's kit when I did this special. It's kind of redundant with Ebony Maw, so this is not one that I would recommend doing. I like this one. You're getting more focus for her and the Black Order. That passive very, very big. The ultimate is also very good because you're reducing the speed bar by 25%. So bringing it up to 50% total, and you're getting extra piercing damage. And then when you're using Proxima and Corvus on the same team, I like both of their basics because you're always getting assist from each other, getting some extra damage, but always getting that assist is very good for both of them. So last but not least, Corvus Glaive. There is that basic that he has to get that assist always from Proxima. So that synergy with those characters is important. And then as far as the passive, very, very good. More damage. Black Order characters gain more damage. This is also a very good one. So if you wanted to go really skimpy, you can go their passives. And then there's a few extras that I would do, like maybe Maw and Thanos. But yeah, if you wanted to go skimpy, just get some of their passive. They give them extra stats for the full team. And then once you build them up, maybe to 250k or so, then yeah, start investing a little more in these guys. ValleyFlyin's greeting. Just noticed a visual glitch during war when marked rooms are not marked for some and are marked on the other's view. At times we can see 3 rooms, one side being attacked, this other side being countered. I have not seen this one, brother. Let me know in the comments if you guys have also seen this. If it is a bug that needs to be fixed. Hopefully it's a one-time occurrence. I'm not sure if it happened one time for you or multiple times, but yeah, more evidence the better, brother. And let me know in comments if you guys are experiencing this as well. ValleyFlyin, what is meant by the term synergy that flashes up during character selection? I see this with Miles and Peter Parker, but I've noticed it on my Hydra team for Alpha 4. I feel like this is source of random assist. I don't know what if other benefit it gives. Keep on smashing. So let's go back into the game for this one, guys. All right, and here is a view in game, and I think what you're talking about is these numbers right here. And these numbers correspond to the number of moves from the rest of the team that go with this character. So for example, Cull Obsidian, he has 5 moves that synergize with him. We have Insidious Whisper from Ebony Maw, Envoy of Thanos from Ebony Maw. We have Embrace the Wind for Proxima. We have Loyal Lieutenant from Corvus, and then Thanos has Titan Eternal. So all of those moves have some synergy with Cull Obsidian. As we go with 6, here we have Corvus Glaive. We have 2 from Ebony Maw, we have 2 from Proxima, 1 from Thanos, 1 from Call Obsidian. So that is what that means. I think that is what your question is, but yeah, that is just the amount of moves that synergize with this character that is on your team that you have selected. You have been talking about ways to relieve all the bottlenecks in the game, but I feel there is one solution nobody's talking about. Would it make sense to get gold and training mats from the ISO 8 campaign? And since this is a separate energy, this would just be more free stuff. Thoughts? So yes, they're gonna have a lot of stuff in the ISO 8. It does use a different energy, at least if it is in the game how it occurred on the test server. It's going to use a separate source of energy. There will be some resource that we'll get. I believe there were training mats. I believe it was gold, but kind of like the campaigns, you know, it's not a huge source of these things, but yeah, I mean, anything like this will help to relieve that. Once this is in the game for a little while, I think we'll be able to see a little more how much it's relieving some of the bottlenecks that we have in the game. But yes, this is definitely a source of getting some gold, possibly some training mats, and some other resources as well that we might be missing. So definitely looking forward to what this brings about when the final iteration is brought to the game. What is up, ValleyFlyin? Now that Emma has been left the milestones, it has been reported she will come back to or has it been reported that she will come back like Symbiote Spider-Man has? I have not heard anything. Now, we did hear Symbiote Spider-Man was coming back in the first iteration of his event. We have not heard anything, or at least I don't remember hearing anything during the first iteration of the Emma event. What does that mean? I don't know. I hope she will come back. It seems very strange that she won't, but maybe they realize how good of a character she is, and it's like, nope, you gotta buy her if she wanted. And yeah, no more milestones. I don't know. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully she does come back. They did not say it. I think it would be weird if she doesn't, but the better question is, where the heck is Symbiote Spider-Man? I mean, Emma's in the milestones now. Where is the Peter Parker? Greetings from the Great White North. Has Scopely said the end of the miles that the Emma milestones would be returning? I don't remember seeing that, and I assume it was a one-time thing. My guess is it's not a one-time thing, because I know Symbiote Spider-Man came back 3 times. I'm remembering the others came back 2 times. I could be remembering that wrong, but I would assume that Emma would come back at least 2 times before she goes somewhere else. Who knows, though? Like with the previous question, I still don't know where the heck Symbiote Spider-Man is. I don't know how he's going to farmable. I'd assumed he would go right into those milestone orbs after he came out of his milestones, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening to him, guys. Greetings from the north, from New York, brother. First timer here. My question is, I have almost every character except Ultron and Doc Ock, as I am free to play as they come. Open a 7 red star Negasonic. Nice. I want to rank her up, but do more is tough. Who do you suggest I build up to most guarantee most 3-star victories? Thanks, and keep smashing. So once again, guys, let's go back into the game for this one, and we'll look at that Do More campaign. All right, so as we take a look at the first few nodes in the Do More campaign, we got a lot of good characters. We got Mutant Heroes and Hero Inhumans. So a couple of good characters I want to recommend. If you have Yo-Yo, build up Yo-Yo. Let's take out the tanks here. We get kind of an off tank with Miss Marvel here. We got some healing with Crystal. These are the characters that I would recommend. Maybe not her, but let's go with X-23 as well, because she has some passive healing. So we got a little bit of healing for these Inhumans with Crystal. We have some passive healing with X-23. This is who I'd recommend for the first few notes if you have those characters. If not, just build up any other great characters that you have. Mystic, Human, and Guardians. Let's go take a look at these nodes, guys, and what characters we have here. Star-Lord is very good. Mystic is also a very good team. We have some healers here in Mantis. I probably would go Star-Lord, and I would probably go Rocket right here next to Star-Lord. Ghost Rider is nice because he has that retribution. I would bring in Groot, and if I'm having trouble with it, actually, I would go Mantis right here. That's what I would do. Maybe put Draxon right here, depending on how I do. But this would be my initial team. We're getting some death proof, some defense ups from Groot. We have some healing from Mantis. We have some damage from these guys right here. We have some blinds to help the enemies reduce on their damage, or potentially reduce on their damage. And last but not least, let's look at these nodes right here. And my recommendation is the Avengers and Thor. So this is what I would do. This is what I actually use. I use Captain America there, Hulk here, Thor here, and Fury was there, Medic was here. This is the exact team that I used to finish that node. So those are my recommendations for Do More. And I think those are the best teams, guys. Let me know your thoughts. If you have other teams that you want to recommend for those notes, let me know in the comments. ValleyFlyin, what is up, my brother? So I'm a little confused. Is the new Symbiote and She-Hulk coming with the next update, or Gambit, Rogue, and Agent? If not, Gamro, Agent. What happened there? Thought they were the next character releases. So I think we all thought they were the next character releases. It was a cryptic message posted by the official Marvel Strike Force Facebook, but it wasn't like an official thing or an official rumor. It was just some cryptic messages that I thought was real. And I think the community was thinking it was real, and it might have been real at the time, but as we know, things shift over at Scopely, aka Fox Next. So obviously this shift, it doesn't mean they're off the table, but I just don't think they're coming this next update, brother. She-Hulk has already been confirmed, and I think it'd be very soon that we will see their other two symbiotes confirmed. Aloha from Oahu, my brother. Hope you're using Avengers. Are you using Avengers on War Defense? If so, who is your fifth? What are your thoughts on using a healer as that fifth spot? So I actually use both. My fifth on War Defense is Captain Marvel in that spot, just because she's very good on War Defense. There's a lot of counters to her nowadays, but you know, sometimes if someone's not paying attention, they go in, maybe they'll get a win. Healer, as I showed when I showed my save squads, I use a healer in that fifth spot right now for Blitz. So I'm using Mantis in that spot because even back in the day, I had some good synergy with Hulk. So I use both. Those are my two Avengers teams, guys. One for War Defense and one for Blitz mode. Valley, doing some verse battles, managed to get a full Black Order team. Want to show my opponent the power of Thanos that have this snap away. I did Thanos' ult, did his regular animation, but it wiped out everyone that was left, meaning a snap should have happened, right? Is this a glitch? Probably a glitch. Maybe there was someone left, like a Phoenix died, and then a Dark Phoenix got summoned, maybe something like that. But yeah, I don't know. If everybody was left off the field and it resulted in a victory because of that move, it should have been a snap. So hopefully you see it the next time, brother, because I hope it's not a glitch. I hope everybody gets to see the snap a few times a week. It is nice. Love your work, Valley. Please show this on the mailbag. Perfect PvP battle. All right. So the team that he used, we don't have a screenshot here, and I did not reach out for a direct message, but Taskmaster, Hela, Ghost Rider, Carnage, and Captain Marvel. Nice. All right. And the question, I guess, is what is my favorite PvP team? I'm still trying to build that team, guys. A Blob Toad, Magneto, Taskmaster, and X-23. Right now, I do deviate from that team a little to work for some other teams, to experiment sometimes, but that is my standard team that I'm trying to get on every battle. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hello from Polish ValleyFlyin. I have a question about T15. Do you already know what items we'll need for the new tier? Is it time to collecting unique items of your top tier 14? Or are there new items? And a second question, Symbiote Spider-Man going to Milestone Orbs? Who knows where he's going? I don't know. He's been missing for a while. And as far as gear tier 15, all we know right now is what we've seen in data mines, and that information is available on msf.gg. But because it is a data mine, it could totally change when things get to the game. But if you want to start preparing right now, msf.gg is where I would recommend going if you want to see some of the pieces you would need for gear tier 15. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot. Just yeah, it's not going to be easy. Valley, I was looking at Cyclops ult, and it doesn't say unavoidable. Shouldn't a gigantic optic blast be unavoidable? Is this just a typo? It's probably not unavoidable because for game balance reasons. There's a few things that are done for game balance reasons and doesn't necessarily make sense canonically. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but doesn't really make sense if you took that into MCU or the Marvel comic universe. But yes, this just makes sense in the game for playability reasons. I'm assuming that's why it's not unavoidable. Valley, so with She-Hulk going to Fantastic Four, with Namor is still going to be good. Will Fantastic Four with Namor still be good on offense since they're transitioning to defense? I only ask because I'm free to play. I don't get new characters built up very quickly, but I do have an offense Fantastic Four already. So my thoughts on this is probably going to keep them on offense for a while. If they still beat a lot of good teams. They don't beat a lot of the meta teams, but any non-meta team, they could get some very good big punch-ups on that team. Let's say Defenders or a few other teams, some weird teams that play for Wakanda, something that they would still be placing on defense. You can get some huge punch-ups with the Fantastic Four. They can still take on certain meta teams if you're punching down a little bit as well. So not that bad. I'm still going to use them there, but yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Namor, you might have to be using him on a different team, or just put them on ward defense. It depends on what you're doing with your alliance, what you're needing. I don't know if I need another ward defense team with the way our alliance is doing wards right now, but I'm probably gonna get her. I don't know how much I'm gonna build her up, but we'll see. I'm gonna see what the feedback for the community is on this one, guys, because I'm leaning towards war offense right now. ValleyFlyin, love the channel and what you do for the community. Thank you, brother. I'm somewhat new player who's at a choke point. Year tier 11, 12 on most of my tunes. What is the best way to farm purple gear? Also, do you think it'll get worse when ISO 8 comes out? Thank you for your help. I think it should get better because I think they want to try to introduce new bottlenecks. So I think they should start to ease up on some of the bottlenecks of the purple gear. At least I'm crossing my fingers. That is what's happening. The best way to farm it is raid store. If you have extra gold and you're trying to use up gold to get to some milestones in the normal supply store. If you have extra war credits, you're not buying characters and you have all the characters at 7 stars that you need, or at least to unlock the next legendary, you could buy in the store. But I like the raid store most, and then the orbs that you get, just getting lucky in the orbs that you get from raids from the purple gear. So that's where I think the best is to get that gear, brother. In a not so distant past, it was said by Foxnext, aka Scopely, we'll be making some quality of life changes to Blitz. Did they go back on that? We keep getting these long and grinding milestones, which make us playing for hours and hours longer. So they did make some changes to the Blitz mode, but in conjunction with also making a lot of these grinding milestones. So way back early part of the year, or earlier part of the year, they added that button that we can scroll through our save squads. More recently, they changed the scoring. They changed the points awarded, and a couple other things. And I think a lot of this was to combat some of the cheaters. Oh, the amount of charges that we get per day. Now we only get 8 free charges per day. So they did a few of these changes. These are changes that they've brought to Blitz. I wouldn't say a lot of them are quality of life changes, except maybe the save squads, and then changes the reward structure so that now you don't have to grind towards a set amount of like a 2,000 or top 100. Now you're just, for most players, you're just grinding for 1%, which has been a concern for a lot of the players for a while, making these percent based, because, you know, solid numbers, fixed numbers, they are going to change very quickly if there's an influx of players. So they did change that, but quality of life changes, I'm not sure if they really did a lot for that, especially when you're combining all these grindy milestones that you talked about. So yeah, hopefully. But now the last blog post, let me just say, in their defense, I criticize them a lot, but in their defense, they did say that they're going to keep monitoring the state of Blitz, and hopefully they are inspired by some of the metrics that they're seeing to make more changes to Blitz to make it a little less grindy. But I think they look at certain metrics. A lot of that has to do with money and time people's spending in the game, and how much people are spending as far as dollars, in real world dollars. So I think that's what they look at, and that's what's going to inspire them to make a change or not make a change to Blitz. Greetings from California. Is there any word on the difficulty slider for the Greek race? Last I heard of it was probably last you heard of it as well. I actually forgot about this till this question. But I think they did say in the second Road to 2020 map, the roadmap, the blog post, I think it is supposed to be coming this year. So we still got October, November, December. So probably within the next 3 months, unless they're going back and had some delays in some of their timing of their schedule that they had from that second 2020 roadmap. ValleyFlyin, the week I returned with more clues for Greg's mystery. Interesting. Got one image and another important clue. An enemy character you would need to face to win time battles, giving them no chance. But the real power of Greg, if you want to know his ultimate, must be used right now. I'm still thinking that you're using Nobu or Minerva or someone to revive the Gregs. I'm not sure who would be reviving them on the anime teams, but that's still my guess, guys. If you have more guesses for these, the Greg's mystery that Cryptus is posting in these mailbag videos, guys, let me know in the comments. All right, and no Drew this week, guys. He said no, he hasn't heard anything new on the rumor front. So that is it. Hopefully he'll return in a future video, hopefully sometime this week. Hopefully there'll be some more news in the Marvel Strike Force world that he can return with. But thank you guys, each and every one of you that submitted a question, whether it got answered or not. Always appreciate the questions, and keep leaving them, guys. If you want your question potentially answered on a future Monday mailbag video, guys, make sure you leave or go to Discord. The link is in the description of this video. Leave your comment in the Mailbag questions channel there, and I will see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, leave a question as well, guys, all that usual stuff, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you get notified every time a new video goes up. At least 4 new videos, Marvel Strike Force videos per week on this channel, guys. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you go. ValleyFlyin out!